updatable result set. So result set itself is a virtual table. You can perform the operations, which are the operation is possible to perform on the physical database table. The same operations you can perform on result set also. We have seen those things in the previous session using the virtual cursor. And now it is possible to update the content of the result set without connecting to the database. So best example, let us take the example of this ATM operation. ATM operation. Suppose the person who wants to do several ATM transaction in a single login. For example, seeing the balance and changing the OTP card pin, and generating the statement, and withdraw some money or transferring some money, etc. If in a single session he wants to do the multiple tasks, in those case, whenever his authentication is success, it is going to load it, the machine is going to load it his data record onto a virtual table. If that ATM machines uses the Java technology, obviously it uses the JDBC. If it is the case of using Java technology, obviously it is going to use the Java database connectivity concept. In that case, that particular customer record is going to be loaded and displaying onto the screen like menu list, generating statement, withdraw, transfer, etc. and so on. So that copy, what it is going to load it as a result set, it is independent of that database which it is connected with that particular record. Suppose while getting the statement generate of the account statement, some transactional failure if it happens. So the first call, what it happens, it will maintain the previous consistent of that particular table. Then it revokes all the transaction happened onto that table to the consistent state, right? If it is the case, if that result set is going to update, that is not directly connected to the database, means it is independent of it, because the content of result set is copy of your database table, copied copy of your database table to the JDBC objects. Getting? So in real time, you can update the result set first, then that transaction is going to be committed when that session is going to be logged out. During the logout time, the commit is which will happen. Again, totally it is depend on application deployment. It is totally depend on that. So with respect to the application, this updatable result set, it is independent of database. You are updating content. So as we know that database operations are costlier operations because context switching happens. To avoid that costlier operations and context switching, so you are creating the result set, you are applying all the possible operations on result set. One time you are recording that to the database for each transaction. Okay. Here updatable result set, it contains the rows, can be updatable, similar to the how rows in a table can be updated. Okay, this is made possible by passing the create statement method of the connection object. The connection object constant value is conquer updatable. Conquer updatable. For example, you are creating a statement st equal to connection dot create statement. When you're creating a statement of the JDBC, if you pass this conquer updatable, the meaning is whenever the changes happen to the result set, immediately that will affected onto the database. That is concurrent. Parallelly, it is updating result set as well as the database itself. If you enforce this create statement onto the conquer updatable. Otherwise, if you go with conquer read only, it can be passed to the method to prevent the result set from being updated. So whatever you are obtaining the result set content, that result set is not going to be updated if you pass conquer read only. Okay. Then updating the value scenario. What are the possible operations you can perform? Updating value scenario, deleting a row, inserting a new row. Each row represents a customer record or student record or employee record depending on the application. So each row you can update, each column, each row you can delete, each row you can insert. If new record, insertion. If you want to modify the existing record, updating. If you don't want that record for longer period of time, deleting. These three operations you can perform on updatable result set. All these changes are accomplished by using the methods of statement object. All this happening through the statement objects. Now let us look into one by one. So the first one is update result set. Update result set. Once the execute query method of the statement object returns a result set, means for example, statement st equal to connection dot create statement, result set rs equal to execute query, result set rs equal to statement dot execute query, a query which you are going to write here qry equal to select star from assume customers table. Query is created equivalent to the JDBC Java statement. Statement is created by invoking connection object. Result set is obtaining by executing that query. Execute query. You are passing query as a part of the execute query. Once the execute query method of the statement object returns a result set, when it returns a result set, using the update xxx method, here xxx stands for the data type, the column type. Update method is used to change the value of a column in the current row of the result set. For example, customer table, customer name, customer first name. First of all, first name, for example, SKT. SKT is of which type? String type. So update string. So the parameter, the first key is CF name, first name. The value of that key is SKT. That particular column field value is going to be updated with the help of update X method. Then This update X method requires two parameters. As I said, one is key, another one is value. Either the number or the name of the column. This number tells that it is a index number. Suppose in a table, suppose you have a table like this. Suppose you have a table like this. So customer first name, customer last name, then balance, paid status, contact number, contact number. Suppose if it is a table, what is the position of CF name? Index number 1. C last name, index number 2. What is contact number index? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth index number. Either you are representing column in the form of number. Number is, it is a indexed value, index number, or the name of the column. What is the name of the column for contact? Contact number. What is the name of the column for last name? C underscore last name. The column or the positional value of that particular column, if you want to update, you either one of these you can use, and you can use update X method. The second parameter is the value that will replace the value in the column of result set. For example, update string. What is the first column name? I number. If it is 1 comma, the first name is, suppose for example, SK. First name is SK. Update string. You can use the index number of that first name field name, or you can use CF name. You can use key value pair of it. Key value pair of it. Either you can use the index number, or you can use the name of the field to update the content of that particular field. Then a value, it's an example. A value in a column of the result set can be replaced with a null value by using the update null method. Suppose at the time of data entry, you may not know the contact number of that customer. If customer don't want to give the contact number while entering his record, by that time you can update the null. It requires one parameter, which is the number of column in the current row of the result. It requires the column number. For example, update null, the parameter, suppose example, update null, the parameter, the contact number you want to make as null. So you pass the fifth index value in this table. Fifth index value you are going to set as a null. Suppose most of us, we have only the first name, last name we don't have. So in that case, set update null, pass 2 as a parameter. Last name value it is going to set as a null. Okay. See, very important. The update null does not accept the name of the column as a parameter. Instead of providing the 2, if you are trying to give the C last name, it is syntax error. The correct syntax is passing the index position number of that column. Clear? Then the third method, first one is update triple X, means type of the column. Then second one is update null. So depending on the value you are going to set as a null. And the third is update row. So update method, row method is called after all the update x methods are called. For example, you are updating the last name, you are updating the balance value, and you are updating the contact number of a customer. So here last name is second positional value, balance status is fourth, and the last contact is fifth. So you are updating three value. Either you can update in a single update statement, or you can update all the records once, and finally you are going to update row by going to invoke the update row method to update all the affected content onto the result set table. The update row method changes values in columns of the current row of the result set based on the values of the update X methods. So let us take the same example, same table what I am taken here, schema of the table. Same table. It has, let us take it as one record, for example, SKT, P, balance 5000, paid status no, a contact number, some actual number. Okay, some actual number. The update row method changes values in columns of the current row of the result set based on the values of the update X method. Suppose I am updating the update string update string. So either you use the positional to update 1 comma new value I am updating Shiva. The second value update, I am updating contact number. It might be the string representation. The last contact number, new value I am updating. I am updating one more value, balance update string or update int balance value is 3, so new value I'm going to update. After applying the update xxx method, to execute this you need to use update row method. Update row, so means after executing update row, all the values of this first position value replaced by Shiva, last position value replaced by new value, and the new balance is going to be updated here. New balance is updated. So after updating, update row method. Clear? Just you look into an example. So see the notepad. You are executing the query. Select first name, last name from customers, where condition is first name equal to Mary and last name is Smith, and statement equal to connection object dot create statement on result set on particular result set dot concur updatable, means you are allowing the result set to update. If you don't want to allow, means you apply concur read only. So that result set object equal to statement dot execute query. The query which you defined here, you are passing here. After that, you are updating using result set object dot update string. Last name value are updating as Smith. Result set dot update row method is going to be invoked. And finally, connection is going to close here. The same example what I discussed in that presentation itself. Okay, clear? The next is delete row in the result set. What we did is updating content, means existing value were updated. Now we are applying delete row in the result set. Suppose you have one more table value. Suppose you have one more table value. Suppose one more table value, balance is 0, paid is some value. Suppose you have one more table value. So with the help of the delete row method, you can remove a row from a result set. In the same way how you use the update, you can do that deletion. The delete row method is passed an integer that contains the number of the row to be deleted. Suppose how many number of rows is deleted. So here 2 rows are there. What is the number you are passing? 2. If you pass 2 means 2 records is going to be deleted. If you pass 0, the current, so cursor is blinking here. So based on the virtual cursor, that result set row is going to be deleted. If you pass row, delete row as 0, it deletes the current row. Then the next is insert row in the result set. We have seen update row, delete row, and now the third one is insert row in the result set. Inserting a row into result set is accomplished using basically the sample technique as used to the update result set. So replace update by insert. The insert row method is called after the update x methods is used. So for example, update string is first name skt, update string contact number some new value. Instead of going to update row, you use the insert row. So update row is required to change the state of the database, whereas insertion is used if that record is not exist. The content, the new content which is going to update it onto the record set, result set, you are invoking insert row rather than update row. Update row when you are using, when you are updating the existing content of the row records. Whereas when you are using insert row, when you want to insert the new content onto the as a new row to the result set. So this method is called after the update x methods, which causes a new row to be inserted into the result set, having values that reflect the parameters in the update x methods. This also updates the underlying database. Let us look into the snippet code to for better understanding. So see the content, sample snippet code. As usual, this is you are querying first name, last name from customers. You are created the statement object on invoking the connection object on create statement, conquer updatable, result set dot conquer updatable you can use, or directly you can use this constant value onto that statement objects. Then you are generating a result set on invoking statement object dot execute query. It is going to display all the records which has first name and last name from the customer table. Now, look into this particular snippet code. So you are inserting a new row by in the first column. In the first column is which one? What is the first column? The first column is first name, second column is last name. So first column first name, second column is last name. First column you are updating string as Tom, second column you are updating last name as Smith. Rather than update row, you are using insert row method. So new record of Tom Smith is inserted into the result set of that customer table. Clear? Then transaction processing. In database management system, you learned about transaction. So transaction is two methods might be used. One is the commit, another one is save point method. Commit save point method, what is the purpose of commit, what is the purpose of save point, already you know about it. Let us look into here. So what is the use of commit? It permanently saves the content to the database, whereas save point, it will used to set a batch transaction processing, right? From there you can begin when you want to continue with that transactions. So transaction processing is not just completed until the J2W component calls the commit method of the connection object. So without doing commit, that transaction is not going to be completed, because commit records the data into the database permanently, right? So whatever you do querying, so by default Java commits the content to the database, because in JDBC program what we discussed, we are not used anywhere the commit statement. Still it is able to record into the database. Yes sir. By default it is going to commit the content to the database. Commit method was automatically called in these examples because the DBMS has an auto commit feature that is by default set to true. Let us look into the snippet code to understand better. Sorry. See, snippet code. Observe particular this statement. Observe it. Database, that is connection dot set auto commit false. So you are exclusively you want to exclusively apply the commit at the end. So you are setting auto commit to false. Query 1, this is update some content to the table. Query 2, updating all the, you are creating two statements of query 1 and query 2. Your execute update method is applied for query 1 and query 2, and finally you are invoking the connection dot commit. Finally you are invoking the connection dot commit. So here connection dot set auto commit is false. In this statement you use connection object dot set auto commit is false. So by default it is true value. By default it is true value. You are exclusively applying the false value because you want to save when these two transaction is completed. So in that case you set auto commit is false, then After transaction completion, you invoke connection on commit. You invoke the commit method onto the connection object. Finally, close the statements and finally close the connection object. Clear? And if the connection, if some exception is thrown in between, then you can invoke apply a rollback method on the connection object to get it back. Means it retains the previous consistent state of the database. If transaction is being rolled back, you just call connection object dot rollback method. So it retains the previous consistent state of the database. Now, so rollback, that is the second transaction is save points. Suppose there is a 20,000 of record present in processing. In that case, suppose you are creating some phases. Every 5,000 record must be transaction at a time. One time at a time, 5,000 record is going to be processed. To creating save point, it help you to save the time instead of doing. If any failure happens in between while processing, the processor again will begin from the first record to till 20,000 record. Rather than doing bulk transactions processing at a time, you create a several save point. It keeps all the record of the save point while transaction. If in suppose if first set of transaction is getting completed, suppose save point 1 you saved, second is on the way. So when something failure happens, it instead of again begins from save point 1, it will begins from save point 2 because save point 1 transaction already being completed. To avoid the reprocessing of the same set of transaction again and again, this save points and rollback methods are used. A save point introduced in JDBC 3.0 specification, even that virtual marker that defines the task at which the rollback stops. For example, set save point parameter is save point name. It is used to set the save point. Suppose you want to release the save point, means remove the save point from that particular. Suppose instead of creating save point for 5,000 record, which you already created, I don't want to go up with 5,000. I want to stop that for again. I want to make 5,000 in 3 save points. For every 2,000 record, I want to create one save point. In that case, release the previous save point which set for the 5,000 record and reset the save point using set save point method for every 2,000 records. Clear? Let us look into the snippet code to better understand of this row save point and rollback. So see, as usual, connection dot set auto commit made it false. Two queries is going to be used for updation of the content of the customer table. Then save point is created here. One save point is created. Then you are setting using connection dot set save point sp1 save point 1. First name 1 you given for this save point. Then you are creating second statement object. You are executing both the query 1 and query 2. Finally, you are committing the save point, committing the transaction. After that, once everything is done by successfully, then you are releasing that save point which was set earlier, SP1. Okay, that this snippet code illustrate how to set the save point and how to release the save point. How, what is the parameter is, it tells that it is a save point name. Okay, it begins here and releases here. Okay, batch transactions, which we will continue in the next class about the batch transaction. Okay, because it is a bigger topic and important topic for JDBC processing for batch transactions. So let us continue this discussion in the next class. Let me know any questions from your end.
No, sir.